Good morning, Philadelphia and all of the ships at sea. This is your girl, Amber E, with the piping hot tea. This is my tea. What's yours? Happy November, everybody. We made it to November. Everybody didn't. I'm just saying, we made it to November the 1st. It is a high here of 58 degrees here in Philadelphia. You know me. Am I complaining? Absolutely not. But I am here to let you all know that I'm going to give you a pat on the back for making it this far. It's been a year. It's been a 5 years and 11-month period. So whether you are watching from or listening from North Carolina, or you're on your commute to see your parents, I just want to say good morning to you. I hope that you're taking it slow, but being alert and continuing to breathe, good people. Good morning, sunshine to y'all. The earth says hello, you twinkle above us. Oh my goodness gracious. Really, it's a matter of remembering to breathe. But you know what we do here? I'm not going to sit here and look pretty, but we're really here for tea. And today's tea is Earl Grey. Now, you all know that I've been on an Earl Grey kick for quite a while now. However, this Earl Grey was actually gifted to me last week, and I've been drinking a lot of it because it's so robust and delicious, and oh my goodness, yes, it's Old Faithful, but that said, I'm just gonna enjoy this. I don't know about y'all, I'm enjoying the little things right now, and it's actually an Earl Grey with lemon that I'm doing. So for me, when I was growing up, you know, we didn't actually put cream in our tea. My mother didn't. My father's sister, my late Aunt Pam, did, but my mom did lemon, hot tea with lemon on the side, so it almost felt like a balm. Now, here's the thing. When I got older, I started drinking cream in my tea. It made me feel like real fancy. I'll be honest with you. But in any event, today's tea is a good Earl Grey with lemon and honey from the Beekeepers Guild, and we talked about that months ago. But you know how we do, good people. Spoons up. Let's push. Real good. Round and round's a dreadful show. Back and forth is how we go. From 6 to 12, and back again. Back and forth to stay within. And again, I'm just enjoying this moment because this tea smells so good. There's something about tea with lemon, and I'm loving this bergamot that I have here. Oh, and that sound, it's like sunshine in the middle of July, where it may not feel good, but never mind, I'm just gonna stop now. Let's see this here. Okay. Here's where I messed up. And you know, sometimes you're going to have boo-boos with your tea. I'm going to be honest. I put too much lemon in this. So the ratio between the lemon and the honey was a little off, but this is still good. I'm not complaining. It's just, here's where I made a boo-boo. My ratio was off, but that's not, hold on. I'm going to try this again. Still delicious because you still have honey and bergamot and lemon, but it's just a little off, but I'm not complaining. I'm going to take a minute. Tea break. Talk amongst yourselves. Give your topic. 6, 7. Please discuss, because I don't get it. Oh, Lord. I'm finally at that age where I hear slang from the kids, and I'm like, I don't know what y'all talking about. And I remember when I was younger, my mother would listen to us say things like, it's all that. And my mom had really good humor about a lot of stuff. She took things seriously, but with things like that, she'd be like, okay, Amber, what do you mean all that in a bag of chips? But she went with the flow very well. And now I'm at that age where we're like 6, 7, and I'm like, again, discuss, figure it out. Just take another sip of this. Oh, this is so good. Regardless of the ratio, that is good. That is balmy. That is warm. It's like a good hug. Oh, that's delicious, delicious, delicious tea. Oh, yeah. Anyway, it is a Saturday morning. It is the 1st of November, and we do have a few announcements. First of all, tomorrow, daylight savings, don't forget to fall back. Now, if you have a phone, don't go through all the trouble because around 1 in the morning, you're going to have to look at your phone and go, oh, look, I do have more time to sleep. Sort of. Sure. If you're worried about your car radio, your car radio, clock, don't worry about it. You'll get to it eventually. Really, just push the button at some point. Don't worry. If you keep a manual watch, first of all, kudos. I still keep a manual watch too. This is your reminder, your gentle touch. push it back tomorrow so that when it's 9 a.m. and you're about to walk out of the door, it's like, oh, wait, I don't have to do that. It's 8 a.m. Ha ha. If you have a clock in your kitchen, honey, just wait 6 months. It's not even that serious. Just leave it alone. Your phone will tell you that it's an hour late. It's all right. Just let it go. Let it go. So yes, don't forget, fall back tomorrow. Get that quote unquote extra hour of sleep. Also, next Tuesday is voting day, good people. Please do not forget to exercise your civil liberty. And whenever I think about voting day, I think about the first administration with our current president and how I was living in Tulsa, Oklahoma at the time. And I remember as we were watching the results, me and some people who were friends at the time, there were these two freshmen at the college I was working at going, see, that's why I didn't vote, because I knew it was going to happen and this is a waste of my time. And I'm like, if I couldn't, I just want to knock your heads together. Really? Are you kidding me? At this point, here's what I'm saying. Vote. 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 Now more than ever, vote. Thank you. I'm glad we had this talk. Speaking of talk, congratulations to Dr. Nariette Butler for her successful Real Talk last Saturday, and shout out to everyone who came to Real Talk, where, again, we talked a lot about getting our hands dirty for your business. What's it going to mean to do the real work so that you get your dream off of the ground and it really becomes something that, whether it is a side hustle or whether you really start to invest in it and it becomes something that you make a benefit for in your own life, how much work are you willing to do for your business? One thing I personally got out of it was the power of networking. I think sometimes when you're in television, when it comes to business and you're putting the pieces together, you're making the phone calls, you're printing out the flyers, you are trying to make everything come together, you become a bit of an island into yourself. And I know for me, sometimes I can get television. As a matter of fact, I'll be a little transparent for a second, because it was an open format that Dr. Butler had. One thing that I said during the open conversation, I said, sometimes personally with my business, I feel a little behind. But in talking to everyone, it is such a relief to know that I am right where I need to be. And moreover, I'm not alone in that. So when you are around people who are in that same headspace with you, who are trying to figure out their business, their networking, and who also need to hear somebody else's dream because it's an encourager, these are the things that we go for when it's about getting your hands dirty. So again, Dr. Nariette Butler, congratulations on the success of Real Talk. Congrats, congrats, congrats. There is another event that is coming up very soon. You should see that coming. I'll be making that announcement very soon. But OMG, good people. If you are still sleeping on the gym that is Germantown, why? There is so much popping up in this mug. For example, tomorrow, if you Google Flannel Fest 2025, you will find out that Braid Mill is having that annual event. And Braid Mill is where we had Real Talk last week. I have a flannel shirt. Nothing wrong with flannel. It's cozy and it looks cool. So long short of it, if you are in the area, I would highly recommend Googling Flannel Fest, much like last week's Harvest Festival. Pause. Germantown Radio and all of the other wonderful vendors in Aubrey Arboretum, where we had Harvest Fest last Sunday. I had an excellent time. If you Google Tea with Amber E, you'll see some things I posted. I'm just so happy that we got to network and connect and really, really, really feel the power of community. You know me. If you're a I almost said legal. Wow. If you are a loyal listener, say that 3 times fast. If you are a loyal listener to Tea with Amber E, you know that by now my platform really is community and network and knowledge. And so to be at Arboretum last week, to see the vendors, to see the people, to see the music, to see the musicians. We even had a drum circle for Kata Scott last week. It was, oh my gosh, it was so wonderful. It was such an excellent time had by so many people. And I am going to pause a little bit here too. I actually got lost on the way to the Arboretum, because if you know Arboretum, that's a lot of land in Germantown. And I wound up on the wrong side of the space. But in finding my way back, I actually passed by the memorial to Kata Scott, and you do see all of the umbrellas, and I didn't get too close because there's actually a cop car. I don't know if it's still there now, but at the time, there's a cop car there that actually guards it so that it doesn't get vandalized, because we have to have that, because people, child, T-sip, yeah, child, But anyway, and seeing it up close, it was like a sucker punch to the gut for me, to really see it in real life and to feel that feeling of loss. But having that circle at the Harvest Festival was just, for me, it was endearing to see. It was so nice to see people come together. Again, it's a shame when we come together in times of tragedy, and I made this point, in length last Saturday for my show, but let's not lose that momentum so that it doesn't have to be something like this that makes us even stronger as Germantownians. Is that a word? It's okay. As Germantown folk, as Philadelphians, as American community members. I'll put it like that. So yeah, I just want to give a shout out to, again, the Harvest Festival. Again, tomorrow is Flannel Fest at Braid Mill. There's just so many wonderful things happening. Again, I would highly recommend using Google as your resource about what's happening in our neighborhood and in our city. Philadelphia is definitely on the up and up with a lot of things that are happening. So much so that actually, before I do that, here's my quick shout out to my godmother, Majay, Judy Jennings, if you're listening. Hey, Majay, I love you. You have so much love in your heart for people, and I just appreciate that you share it with me. So I love you, and I'm glad that you're listening from North Carolina. I'm glad you got home safely, and enjoy your Saturday, Majay. You earned it. Hey, I said what I said. Come at me if you want to. Yes, I did. So, and going back to my segue, we are day 32 into the government shutdown, good people. And as has been the buzz news around, what does that mean? As of today, as of November the 1st, because the shutdown is still ongoing, that means that one of the casualties is that 42 million Americans are no longer receiving SNAP benefits. I enunciated on purpose. Again, hear me clearly. Watching this, read my lips. I said 42 million Americans no longer receive SNAP benefits. Now, here's what I find funny about that. And I'll put it like this. When you hear the number 42 million, one of two things happen. Either that number is so large that you kind of can't grasp it, or that number is so large that it's like, wow. It's easy to take that number and go, oh, it's just a group, and not really think about what the number 42 million entails. But when you think about how each individual is part of that 42 million, it might be someone you know, it may be someone that you don't know, but it's someone in your community who now has to figure it out. And you know what? You know what? In waiting for the opportunity to talk about this on Tea with Amber E, I was kind of watching and keeping my ear to the ground about how we were going to talk about this. And of course, for those of you who don't know, as of yesterday, there was a mandate. 2 federal judges actually ordered for President Trump to tap into contingency funds in order to take care of SNAP benefits and to fund them. Now, does that mean that as of right now, they're going to be turned back on? Unfortunately, no. It might take some time. That really breaks my heart. It really does. But the good news is, I'm all about the community, good people. Governor Shapiro has even tapped into, that is Pennsylvania's Governor Josh Shapiro, has tapped into state funding to feed families. Food banks are definitely taking care of people. They are going double, triple time. Even the school district of Philadelphia is going to continue having its free meals for its students. So that's, again, breakfast, lunch, and snacks, things of that nature. So again, yes, this is a serious serious pushback, excuse me. But that said, there are resources for you. Again, make Google your friend, make it do your bidding and see what it is in your neighborhood. I know here in Germantown, there are definitely, there's the free fridges. If you know me, I am a advocate for and a friend to and forever grateful to the Welcome Table, where I've given my lectures in the past. They actually put out a post this week where they need volunteers. Because again, in addition to community resources for things like computer classes, line dances, y'all better dance. I see y'all on social. Hey, I love it. They also have, they provide food. And so they're looking for volunteers to help. If you know something, now's the time to say something. And by the way, here's a small sidebar to that. Now's the time also to save up your resources too. If it's just every couple of weeks you get your, I can't tell you what to do. I'm just putting this out there. But if it just means considering every couple of weeks getting a case of water and keeping it on tap, so to speak, do that. Keeping your toilet paper on point, do that. If it means, you know, if you're like me, making sure if you got to go, and this is going to sound kind of arrogant of me, I'm sorry, but again, if you got to go Lipton or Tetley to keep the tea pouring, honey, get over yourself, get you some hot water, and keep the tea popping for your own peace of mind. I said what I said. What my point is that basically, now's the time not only to tap into our resources, but it's also the time to stock up what you have so that heaven forbid something should happen, we're thrown out in the lurch. How many canned goods do you have? Honey, if nothing else, okay, I'm going to brag a little bit. Get you some garbanzo beans, also known as chickpeas. Keep that aquafaba because it's great protein. Roast them in the oven with some paprika, some garlic powder, a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, a little bit of lemon juice, little pepper, and some smoked paprika. Roast them for a good 40 minutes. It's a great snack. That's kind of what I'm saying. At this point, get creative. And moreover, don't hoard your resources. This is something else we talked about during Real Talk. You can't keep all the blessings you've got to yourself because, quite frankly, somebody is waiting for you. And it doesn't mean that you lose anything. As a matter of fact, it's the opposite. You expand your space and you invite people in because there's so much hopelessness right now that people are looking for ways to connect so that they don't fall to pieces. And it's either that they've lost their voice or they're losing their hope. And you are sitting here, let me go back a little bit because I want to be fair. You may be sitting and listening to this going, how can I help? Google. One thing I'm going to say is there are quite a few restaurants in the area. Tosca in Mount Airy, for example, they are offering free meals if you show your EBT card, like a free pizza, things like that. So again, there are restaurants all over the city in New Jersey and Pennsylvania and Philadelphia and Delaware. There are a lot of resources offered to you because people are really stepping up to make sure that even though people are really worried, how am I going to feed my kids? I was even watching this morning on the news, one woman that they interviewed in New Jersey, she said, you know, I know that there's all these food banks and whatnot, but these lines are long and some people don't have cars. And I don't want to wait as it's starting to get darker sooner. You have to keep that in mind, right? I don't want to wait like 2-3 hours and I have to walk home with these bags. And that might sound like, oh, well, if you don't want it back, like, please don't go there. Please don't. Now is not a time to be hypercritical of folk trying to figure things out. Well, if you wanted it bad enough, you would wait in line. Do not get started. Sit. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll give you another moment to digest 6-7. Discuss. 6-7. I said it. Go ahead. Oh, yeah, I had oatmeal for breakfast. I am definitely awake and alert. Yes, I did. Woo! But again, now is not the time to be hypercritical of people who are trying to figure out solutions. And by the way, if you know people who are like, I can't walk all the way to the food bank. I said this last Saturday, everybody. Do you know the names of your neighbors? Do they know your names? Are you offering spaces where they can come to you and get the help they need? Because if I can be a little frank, it's something that my mother really emphasized to me and my older brother growing up. Every Thanksgiving, well, not every Thanksgiving, but one Thanksgiving in particular, we actually gave food to the homeless. And she had these styrofoam containers and we put food to the homeless. And what I got from that, my takeaway was, you are one step away from needing someone to help you. Never get too arrogant that you think, oh, that could never happen to me. Okay. You believe that if you want to. Like I said, 32 days into the government shutdown, maybe your SNAP benefits weren't cut off. Maybe your health insurance isn't in jeopardy. But don't you think there's a trickle-down effect and or a domino effect to all of this where it's going to either hit you at some point? Do not go into this like, well, if it doesn't affect me directly, it doesn't affect me at all. Trust. It will. And I even remember Dr. Bernice King, who I talked about a couple of months ago because I was talking about women in the civil rights movement for my lecture at the Welcome Table. Hey, Welcome Table, thank you for everything you do for Germantown and for vicinity. One thing she talked about on her social media this week was how a lot of people who glorify and love on her father, the late Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who would have been in his 90s now, might have been the same folk where when they were living in the same time would either have been very quiet and allowed things to happen to him or were very much against him and were not ashamed of it. And so it's, as a matter of fact, if you read the autobiography of Malcolm X, I think there's a new edition. It wasn't his oldest daughter, but it was a man who wrote the foreword to it, not Alex Haley, who talked about how Brother Malcolm had gone from being a person who was very much feared to kind of becoming a national hero who's now on a postage stamp. So it's like, the reason I'm bringing all this up is okay, I'll put it this way. To use a Dr. Butlerism, on this side of time, and yes, I heard you laugh, Dr. B, it's cool. On this side of time, make sure that you are the person that does the right thing so that when in 2, 3, or 4, or 5 generations, when people are reading about this in the history books, if you're still with us, you're not saying, yeah, you're not full of regret like I shoulda, coulda, woulda. Gauge your own energy. I can't tell you what to do. But all I'm just gently suggesting, maybe, well, I guess more like suggesting with a little bit of a punch to do what you can, to make yourself available. If you know of the resources, please post them where you have them. Make the word of mouth work for you. See what you can do. And like I said 3 times, minimum, vote. VOTE, vote. Now really is the time to make sure that we stay active. And again, there's so much happening in our world where, again, Lincoln University, Pennsylvania's own Lincoln University, had a shooting last week. People are, and again, there was one injury. There were quite a few injuries. But my goodness gracious, there are so many things that are making people kind of desperate and looking for someone to let them know that you're not by yourself. You know, I'm not going to take the time right now to think and to chew on why would someone do, because we did that last week. But the bottom line is people are really starting to grasp at straws because they're trying to hold on to something. And if they can't find it, they're going to go into other messages to get what they need or what they want, or to express the negativity they feel. We can't let that happen. Even if it is moving a stone from one side of the street to the other, you don't know how you will keep someone from falling down and tripping over it. So that is my push for you, Philadelphia, and everyone listening, that again, as we're watching things unfold, as we are trying to make sense of all this, as we are holding on to one another, as I say almost every week, I see you, I love you, I've got you, we've got this. We've got each other. Just this is your reminder. You are not alone. You're not. That I cannot emphasize enough. My goodness. I'm going to say one more thing that I got from Real Talk from Dr. Butler last Saturday. Regarding your dream, regarding what you want to do with the time you're given, what are you doing to make that happen? Again, this goes back to getting your hands dirty, so to speak. Regarding taking the steps towards making your life better. While the world is kind of trying to pull for something, because again, that's kind of the interesting thing about dichotomies, how 2 things can coexist. Or rather, is it more of a dichotomy, or is it I think it's paradox. Dichotomy, paradox, oxymoron, all kind of in the same neighborhood. While 2 things can coexist. It's a paradox. I had to think that through. Thanks for being patient with me. A paradox is something that contradicts itself, but nevertheless is true. But while things are kind of cray-cray right now, what are you doing to bring light to the world. One person last week was talking about their crochet business that they thought about for a long while, and they was like, okay, how could I get this working again? And you know, the question is, sure, it might just mean making beanies for the grandkids or making the cutest little socks for the newborns. Oh, Aunt Natalie has a newborn grandchild. Oh my goodness, they're so cute. Little things like that. Oh my goodness, high voice. I'm so sorry. But point being, sorry, I had a moment, thought about the baby. I'm back. Woosah. All right. So anyway, in those little things like that, it might be what might just be you needing an outlet, might be something that you just might give for the holidays, or might become a lucrative business, or might become just something that gives you extra income so that you don't have to worry about tapping into your Social Security or tapping into your paycheck to be able to get that case of water that you keep just in case, or to get that can of fava beans just to keep just in case, or what have you. Those are the things to think about, good people, because quite frankly, the more creative you are, the more light you create, and the more light you create, the more darkness you lose. Or the more darkness is lost around you. Love you too, Auntie. So long short of it, I really do hope that as more things happen in our world, that you stay safe. I hope everybody had a safe October 31st, you know, things of that nature. That you stay safe, that you keep the tea pouring, and that you remember, you little sunbeam, that you've got this. That every morning that you wake up, every morning that you boil the water, every morning that you steep the tea leaves or the coffee, that you remember that you are already defying the odds because you refuse to let go. You refuse to break down, and you refuse to give up. And moreover, do not forget that someone out there is indeed waiting for your light. Don't be afraid. We've got this. I've got you. I just want to, I'm just going to continue sipping this tea. By the way, if there are any teas that you would recommend, could you please make sure to leave them in the comments? Again, next week, as I mentioned 2 weeks ago, I do have a tea coming because it did finally come from King of Prussia. Yes. I am so excited. It is a harvest blend, and it has chicory root in it, and it has cinnamon in it, and it has this delicious ginger. But oh my, I am in love with this stuff. I cannot wait to share it with y'all next week. Oh, heck yeah. It's going to be great. And again, the honeys are coming. The lemon is here. And again, make sure that you put into the comments or you bring out a shout out other teas that you think that I might want to try on Tea with Amber E. Because again, I mean, I like tea. That's why I do this every week. It's delicious. And I want to share my experiences with you. And by the way, before I forget, for all of you who do enjoy watching me get very excited about tea, thank you so much. Because I'll admit, sometimes I look at the clips of my show and I go, wow, Amber, you're really having a good time. And I really am. This is something I love tea. I won't go down that road about how it's sacrosanct in my life right now. Maybe another time. But point being, I just want to thank each and every one of you for continuing to watch and listen to Tea with Amber E, for continuing to encourage your girl. I've had quite a few changes recently, and for those of you, and you know who you are, who continue to support me and love on me, I want you to know that it makes a huge difference in my life. And that this is my way of saying thank you, because again, we're all in this together. Did I really just go High School Musical? I'm sorry. I had a minute. But again, we are all in this together, good people. So, enjoy your Saturday. Stay warm. Make a pie. Make some chili. But definitely make some tea. I hope that you enjoy yourselves this week. Ooh! I almost knocked over my cup. I hope you enjoy yourselves this week, everybody. Love and light to you all. Take care of you. Peace.